Welcome to our DrivenCRM tutorial on sales lead management, quoting, and pipelines.
We'll start by logging into the CRM using your assigned user credentials. The first thing you'll want to do is to verify your user settings. Using the top left hamburger menu, choose Settings and Configuration. Depending on your access role, you'll either go directly to the settings screen or you may have to choose the option for personal settings. Make sure your name, department, time zone, and email address are all correct. You can also choose to switch the CRM into one of the many included color schemes, such as dark mode. You can experiment with the various color schemes to find one you like best. Next, we'll make sure your work address and phone settings are correct. DrivenCRM uses two-factor authentication. The text messages and voice numbers can be set in the section labeled Verification Setup. Check to make sure your mobile number is correct to continue. We'll move on to the security settings, which is where you can update your system password if you'd like. Some email servers have an app password setting. This would come from your system administrator. DrivenCRM integrates with Adobe Sign for electronic document signatures. If you have this service, this is where you can link the CRM to the service. You'll need your region code, which is embedded in the Adobe URL when you log into Adobe Sign. You'll then press the Connect button, and you'll be redirected to the Adobe Sign login screen for verification. Enter your Adobe Sign credentials that you use to normally access the Adobe Sign service. You'll then be prompted to approve the link between the CRM and Adobe Sign. Press the Allow Access button, and you will be presented with a link code. This link code simply needs to be copied and pasted back into the CRM to complete the process. It is important to note these steps are only needed one time, and the link should stay permanently established between the two. If all goes as planned, the green check indicates the link is established. Next, we'll move on to setting up your signature line. This signature line is what the CRM will automatically append to the bottom of your outgoing emails. You can cut and paste this from your existing signature link. Just be careful with any formatting issues while setting it up. Use the green check mark at the top right to save your changes. Remember to always use the green check mark or red X to cancel in every CRM screen. Never just close the browser tab, or your changes will not be saved. Next, we're going to create a new workspace for your sales dashboard. We're going to use the Workspace Group feature to organize your sales dashboard more efficiently. We'll call the new group Sales Dashboard, and we'll create a new Workspace tab for marketing campaigns. In the CRM, the beginning of the process flow begins with the marketing campaign you use to capture sales leads, such as a website link, trade shows, and such. So we're going to create a dashboard workspace so you can always see the current marketing campaigns that are active. You can see we have the new group called Sales Dashboard to the left, and our new workspace is ready to go. We'll now touch the eyeball icon to populate the workspace with the marketing campaign list. You'll find it under the marketing campaign category at the top, and select the All Active Marketing Campaigns selection at the bottom to complete the setup. When sales leads are entered into the CRM, it is beneficial for reporting to define that marketing source the lead was generated from. Although it is actually optional in the CRM, the proper use of marketing campaigns helps with the organization and grouping of sales leads. You can create a new marketing campaign using the top left hamburger menu on the dashboard. Select the New/Create option, and you'll find the new marketing campaign under the More Options selection. Next, we'll add a workspace that will display our sales leads. In the CRM, sales leads are considered unqualified contacts, and they are kept separate from qualified CRM contacts such as customers and potential customers with proposals. I'll type a descriptive name for our workspace to indicate it contains sales leads, and we'll divide it into two panels and use the green checkmark to save. On the top panel, we'll configure it to display a list of sales leads that are currently assigned to my user or My Sales Leads. Choose the My Items category and select the My Sales Leads option at the bottom to add the grid to the dashboard workspace. When the dashboard refreshes, You will have leads that belong to you as a sales rep displayed in the top panel. We'll repeat this process. However, for the bottom panel, we're going to display leads that are unassigned. New leads that arrive in the CRM are usually not assigned to a sales rep and are up for grabs per se. Choose the Contacts and Leads category and select the Unassigned Leads option at the bottom. Our workspace refreshes and now shows us the two types of leads we prefer to see. Next, you'll probably want to customize the data columns in the two dashboard grids. Choose from many of the most useful columns such as last contact date, role, market, territory, and so forth. The data field, last contact date, is especially useful because you can use it for sorting on the dashboard display by both ascending and descending order. There is a separate tutorial on dashboard setup you can watch for all the features that the dashboard has to offer. Here we can see that one of our leads was contacted, but the other has not yet been reached out to. So I will focus my priority on that lead to reach out. By using the sorting features, I can sort ascending and descending. You'll need to select the Save Settings option in the grid to memorize the sorting and filter. You can also filter the grids by typing a filter into the text area below the column header. Next, we'll discuss how leads are entered into the CRM. For bulk actions, such as importing a list from a trade show or a purchase list of contacts, you'll use the Excel importer. From the top left hamburger menu, we'll choose the Utilities option and select the option for file import. The column headers of your file are very important and must exactly match the format provided in the sample file you can download from the link right here. You'll take your existing Excel file and modify the column headers to match. The position of the field is not important, only the header name, and watch out for extra spaces, which is a common issue. For example, first name and last name do not have a space in the header and so forth. The only fields that are required are last name, first name, and company. You can leave the other fields blank if you do not have the information, but do not remove the column from the spreadsheet, just leave it blank. I recommend you import a small sample first to see how it goes. Once your spreadsheet is ready to go, just upload it into the importer to continue. The importer will validate the document and show a couple of options for the import. The first option is what marketing campaign you would like the leads linked to. Remember that linking leads to a marketing campaign is recommended for better reporting and grouping. You can link them to an existing campaign or create a new campaign on the fly for this import. Leads from different campaigns will need to be imported separately. Finally, you can specify how the CRM should handle updating existing lead records. You can choose to skip the record, but it will still be linked to the campaign. Or you can have it merge or update from the imported data. Use the green checkmark at the top right to begin the importing process. It usually processes quickly, and the results are displayed for review. Select the Close Import Window button to finalize the process and return to the dashboard. Searching for a lead is easy. You can use any of the column filters to find a lead. When entering value in the column search, the CRM defaults to searching for a value anywhere within the column, such as entering the word example in the company name will return all companies with example anywhere within the name. You can also use the main dashboard search at the top, which is always available regardless of the workspace currently selected. It will drop down with a list of your recently accessed records, and you can type a search value such as last name, first name, or an email address to activate the search. The top search is global and returns all matching records such as CRM accounts, proposals, and leads, to name just a few. Simply select the desired option to display the details of the selected record. The displayed profile screen is your complete one-stop shop for all the lead details. At the top are all of the demographics of the record and primary fields. Directly below is a place for timestamp notes. Any pending items such as appointments and follow-ups are then displayed in recent communication history. And finally, at the bottom is a complete rundown of the type and counts of each CRM record type linked to the lead. To edit the lead demographic information, look for the gear icon at the top labeled Settings. The top field, Account Link, allows you to link this lead to an existing CRM account or leave it blank for an unattached lead. The remaining fields are clearly labeled, and you can update them accordingly. Several fields such as phone numbers allow for multiple inputs and customized selections, and fixed fields such as phone extension. You can add up to 4 email addresses which are used for the email linking to capture incoming messages from the lead. The role, market, and territory fields are useful for reporting and grouping, and the drop-downs can be customized if your security settings allows it. These 3 primary fields are also featured in the import spreadsheet. The originating promotion should be set to the source where the lead originated and really should never change since it indicates the source of the lead, and the current promotion should be tagged with the current marketing campaign. Campaigns can have specific pricing, and setting this will indicate which pricing the CRM will use when it is time to generate the proposal for this record. Finally, you can set the products and product categories that the lead is interested in. This is, of course, for reporting and filtering the record later on. We'll use the green check mark to save our changes and will be returned to the main record display. Next, we'll discuss creating new CRM records for our lead, such as phone calls, emails, and follow-ups. Start by accessing the record profile like we did before. The first activity we'll discuss are timestamp notes. These notes are a prominent, convenient way to list important information directly at the top of the profile. The sticky note area features the most important notes. There are options to quickly add a new note or edit the existing note entry with an automatic timestamp. You can use enhanced fonts and colors to draw attention to the notes as well. When the profile refreshes, we can see our sticky notes now display our important information. Directly below the sticky notes area are the regular timestamp notes. Their notes feature a scrolling window of timestamped history for the record. Next, we'll discuss logging a phone call activity for the lead. Using the top left hamburger menu, expand the action menu area and select the Log a Phone Call option to begin. A call timer immediately starts, and the screen displays the fields to log the details of the call. The reason for call and call category fields are useful for reporting and searching, and use the detail area to record the details of your conversation. In this example, I'll specify an outgoing call, but I only reached their voicemail, which I'll indicate in the notes. I'll then select the option at the top to specify a follow-up, so I'm reminded to call the lead back at a later date and time. I'll enter a few relevant details for the follow-up, which will appear on my follow-up dashboard panel. You can specify the desired date and time. It's important to note that follow-ups will roll forward until they are completed, so the date and time selections are not critical. Then use the green checkmark to both save the phone call details and set the follow-up. When our record profile refreshes, we can see our communication history area shows our logged communication, and the open/active items area shows that we have a couple pending follow-ups for our record. The most recent communication records will always be listed first with all the details right below. Because the top area of the profile only shows the most recent records, an area at the very bottom displays the full listing of history for the lead grouped by the appropriate category. You can touch the count number in the category to display the full history and details. All the standard column header searching, sorting, and so forth also apply here too. Another helpful tip is the plus sign under the counts can be used to quickly add a new record of the category type. Returning to our dashboard, we'll clear the filter for the company name and let the grid refresh with current information. Before we continue, it's time to add another workspace to our dashboard. This time we're going to add one that shows us our pending follow-ups. Remember that you can specify the tab order by using a number in front of the name, so this follow-up workspace tab will be third in the list. Once again, we'll use the eyeball icon to configure the workspace panel, and we'll find our follow-up information under the My Items category. Select the My Items category and look for the My Follow-Up selection at the bottom to add it to the workspace. Remember that follow-ups keep rolling forward until they are completed, so any follow-up in this list has not yet been completed, and the follow-up date is your suggested date for contacting the person. Because of this, it's best to sort the grid by the oldest date, so you know which follow-ups to work first. So we'll work them from oldest to newest. Remember to use the Save Settings option in the grid to remember your sorting preference. Touch any of the follow-ups to activate the follow-up screen. Contact information and demographic information are displayed, along with the details of the follow-up itself. Let's assume we're ready to act on this follow-up and we're going to reach out with a phone call. We'll move the After Saving option to Start Phone Call. We'll also move the Task Complete option to Yes. We'll leave the Log Call option at No for this example. By clearing the follow-up and starting a new call, we now have the option to follow up again if we need to. For this example, we have reached their voicemail again. I'll take a moment here to also recommend updating the category selections and contact notes at the bottom to indicate to yourself this is the second attempt at contacting them. Now I'll create a new follow-up and set it for a later date to try again. You might be wondering why we're creating another follow-up for the same lead. Because since we have marked our old follow-up as completed, it will no longer appear on our dashboard. So that's why we're creating a new follow-up in this step. This new follow-up for a future date keeps things moving for the lead and ensures that they don't fall through the cracks. This completes the tutorial on follow-up management, which is crucial to maintaining and establishing contacts with your leads. Be sure to set up your dashboard in a way that is best for you to keep things organized. Next, we'll use the global search and we'll access our lead profile again. This time we're going to cover how to send an email message from within the CRM. From the top left hamburger menu, look to the Action menu, then select the option Send an Email. You'll still be using your regular email client for incoming email, but you can use the CRM to send outbound messages to your leads and contacts. There are several advantages to this, starting with Mail Merge Enable templates. You can access these directly from the email screen. The wrench icon next to the drop-down lets you update and create new mail merge templates. Some templates are designed to be used with sales leads only, some are designed for CRM contacts, and others work with both. Use the plus icon in the toolbar to add a new mail merge template into the system. Specify if this template will be used for sales leads, CRM contacts, or both. And finally, fill in the desired message subject of the template and the message body, using any mail merge fields that are appropriate for the message. You don't have to worry about adding your signature line here. It will be added automatically to the outgoing message so that this template can be used by others. You can, however, include hyperlinks to your website, company logo, colors, fonts, and more as necessary. Here is another helpful tip. If you are cutting and pasting from another system into the template, right-click and select the Paste as Plain Text option to ensure that formatting from the other system doesn't interfere with your new message. We'll use the green checkmark to save our new template, and it will now automatically appear in the time-saving template drop-down for selection. You'll see our template has correctly mail merged the contact name and has applied our signature line to the outgoing message. The standard email options can be adjusted as well as the option, shown here, to add additional external attachments to the message. It is always a good idea to use the follow-up option at the top of the screen to set a reminder follow-up automatically after the message is sent. You can also set the follow-up for another CRM user, such as an assistant or customer service rep. Set the follow-up a few days out and remember that they keep rolling forward until they are completed. When the green checkmark is pressed, your email is sent immediately and your follow-up is created in the CRM. You are now returned to the updated contact profile. Next, we'll record an external event that occurred with the contact. Use the top left hamburger menu and look for the option, Record an Event. The screen is similar to the other event types. You can specify the subject, details, event type, and so forth. Remember, if you are an administrator, the Modify List option allows you to configure the drop-down choices on the fly. If you are not an administrator, you'll need to ask one to update the list for you. Here we'll add an event type named Sales, which we can now choose as the event type for the message. We'll enter the descriptive details of the event, and in this case, we choose not to set a follow-up since we know from the contact profile an existing follow-up has been set. Moving on, we'll now choose the Add a Note option to add a time-stamped header note to our contact profile. This performs the same function as the add and edit links above the notes. Profile notes are a quick and easy way to let other CRM users know the status of the contact at a glance. They are also a great way to remind yourself of important contact-related information. The result is that our new note has been added to the top of the previous contact notes in the profile. The CRM also has a quick remark text area shown here next to the star icon. By choosing the Edit Notes function, you can edit the existing note history, and you can also update the status note quick remark at the top for a really important note. Here we're using the quick remark note to designate how many message attempts we've made for the sales lead. Going back to our action drop-down, upload an attachment should be fairly obvious, and set a follow-up we've covered quite a bit. So we'll select the Set an Appointment option to add an appointment to your CRM scheduler. Again, this is separate from your Gmail or Outlook scheduler and exists strictly within the CRM only. This allows you to keep your CRM scheduled events separate from your internal and personal events. It's important to mention that previously we covered follow-ups, which roll forward until they are completed. Appointments shown here are different. In this case, you have set a very specific date and time for a meeting with the contact, and it will not roll forward on your dashboard. Let's add the scheduler to our dashboard so we can see the appointment information we just set. Use the plus icon to add a new workspace to your dashboard. We'll start with the number 4 so it becomes the 4th tab and describe the Workspace tab as Calendar. We'll use the touch here to choose what we see and select the Appointment Scheduler category at the top. At the bottom are only a few relative options. We'll select the Task/Appointment Scheduler. Our dashboard refreshes, and we can now see our calendar and the appointment we have scheduled with the contact in a standard scheduler format. Similar to how you work in Outlook or Google, you can drag and drop to reschedule and change the various display options for your schedule, such as switching to week view, month view, or a multi-day view. The dashboard will remember your selection each time you return. We'll now switch back to day view. To create a new appointment, you can simply select a blank starting time on your calendar to create the new appointment. Enter the appropriate details such as subject, start time, and date and length. If the appointment is with a CRM contact, you can search and select the desired contact within the appointment. If you leave the CRM contact unselected, it will be created as a personal or internal appointment. The CRM has a system-defined automated appointment email that can be sent automatically by selecting this option. Other options such as appointment color and recurrence options can be set as well. When the dashboard refreshes, since we have set our appointment for another day, we can select the desired date from the option date selector at the top. Here we can see our updated schedule for the date selected and use the drag and drop option to rearrange the schedule as needed. To review, we started by creating marketing campaigns in our dashboard. Next, we created sales leads, linked to those campaigns, and created events that needed follow-ups and scheduled appointments. Continuing onwards, we'll use the dashboard drop-down to access our recent records and select our example lead. We'll now select the option for Create Internal Task/To-Do. The difference here is that although follow-ups and calendar indicate interaction with the contact, the Task/To-Do means an internal-only task needs to be completed for the contact. For this example, we'll indicate that a project plan document needs to be internally generated by yourself or another CRM user, with the start dates and the due dates clearly specified. We'll type out the task instructions and use the green checkmark to save. The CRM will send an automated email to the assigned user with the details. We'll be returned now to the contact profile that now shows all of the pending and completed activity. Use the plus icon to create a new dashboard workspace. As before, we'll start it with 5, so it is the 5th tab from the left. We'll name it Tasks and break it into 2 sections for this example. On the top panel of our new workspace, we'll select the icon and configure it to display tasks that are assigned to our CRM user. Remember, you'll always find those under the My Items category. We'll select the My Task Assignments options to add to our new workspace panel. On the bottom panel, we'll add a data grid that displays tasks that we have assigned to other CRM users. For that, we'll select the Activities and Tasks category at the top and select the option for Open Tasks assigned to others at the bottom. Our dashboard refreshes, and we now have a convenient tab showing our pending tasks we and others are responsible that have not yet been completed. You can select the Customize Grid option to add additional fields to your task data grids. Only tasks that have not been completed appear in these grids. To mark a task as completed, you can simply select the task to begin editing and fill in the completed date field to mark the task as complete. An automated email will be sent to the task creator letting them know it has been completed. Once a task has been completed, it no longer appears on your dashboard, but it is still visible as a completed task within the CRM Contact Profile History area. The final 2 options in the Action area allow you to merge this lead into a different record if it is a duplicate record. You'll choose the Merge Source and Merge Destination options. The merged record and all of its history and pending items will be merged. The clone this lead creates another copy of the lead, which is useful if you have an additional contact within the sales lead company you are working with. As discussed before, the marketing and promotions area allows you to specify all the marketing campaigns that apply to this sales lead. The Dispatch to Sales Rep option allows you to reassign the sales rep for the selected contact to another rep, with the option to send an automated email and additional notes during reassignment. This option is typically used by someone dispatching unassigned requests to various reps. From the contact profile, there are a few options left to discuss before moving on. We'll discuss promote and quote in a moment. The transaction log displays a history of access and updates to the contact record. The Mark as a Dead Lead option removes this sales lead from the active dataset and archives it so it no longer appears as an active record, but still keeps the history. This feature is a preferred method rather than deleting an inactive lead and losing that data. Let's now discuss the important promote and quote option. In the CRM, you cannot generate a quote or sales order to a sales lead. You must instead promote the record to a qualified CRM contact. When promoting, you have the option of archiving the lead, which promotes the record to the CRM dataset and removes the record from sales lead dataset. You would use this option if you no longer plan to work the record as a sales lead. But if you still want to see it as a sales lead, set it to no. You then have the option of choosing the CRM account type. You can create a brand new CRM account, merge the lead into an existing account, or create the account as a child to a parent account. We'll go ahead and create a new account for this sales lead. You have the option to create a sales pipeline entry at this time. You'll use the Sales Pipeline CRM feature to track the details of your opportunity and how likely it is to become a sale. During sales lead promotion, you only need to enter some basic pipeline information. You can add the specific details later. Simply start with a quick description, the estimated potential, and an estimated close date. If the CRM determined there are other sales leads from the same company, it will present them to you here to select. This bulk promote feature will then merge them into the new account as additional contacts. Once the green checkmark is pressed, the conversion is complete, and we have a new CRM account. The CRM automatically assigns an account number. It's E00118 in this case. Now that it is promoted, you can add additional contacts to the record. Since we chose not to archive the lead in the promote option, the CRM kept the sales lead record and added a link to it from our account. Keeping the sales lead record is a convenient way for you to keep working the sales lead from your dashboards and still have the benefits of the linked CRM account, such as generating proposals and pipeline tracking. However, for example, if your sales lead no longer needed your attention, you would use the promote and quote option again for the sales lead, but this time set the archive option to yes. From the top left hamburger menu, look for New CRM Record. Now that the sales lead is promoted, the option to generate a new proposal is available. We'll go ahead and select it. The screen appears with some setup information for our new proposal, such as description, status fields, and so forth. Most fields will have default values, but make sure they are correct, such as the correct marketing campaign that is responsible for this proposal. Also, make sure you select the appropriate sales pipeline to link our proposal to. You may also want to make sure the sales tax setting is correct, and then use the green checkmark to generate the starting proposal. Our starting proposal has 0 line items, so we'll start by using the item search to locate an item to add to the proposal. You can then edit the line item quantity, description, price, discount, item cost, and so forth. Use the icon in the toolbar to refresh the grand totals at the bottom at any time. The system will update the totals and taxes in real time. If automatic tax is enabled, hover over the tax total for a breakdown. You can use the drop-down to the left of each line item to move the item up or down, or options such as adding comments to the line. Simply repeat this entire process to add additional lines to the proposal until you have it perfected. To return back to the header settings of the proposal, the gear icon gives you access to these settings, such as the billing and shipping address, payment terms, and the financial settings. The Bill To section can be switched to another account or set to third-party billing. The shipping address information can be selected and updated from this area. The financial settings and shipping settings area are not commonly updated and contain the default values for the proposal. If your company has multiple warehouses you ship inventory from, You can select which is the default warehouse, and finally are some settings related to split commissions you can update for commission tracking. Use the green checkmark at the top right to change the proposal header settings and return to the main proposal screen. When you are ready to send the proposal, use the hard copy option in the header to generate the PDF preview document. Carefully review the entire PDF for accuracy and use the red X to cancel and return to proposal editing for necessary updates. To email the proposal directly from the CRM, use the email icon in the toolbar. The PDF-generated proposal will automatically be attached to the outgoing message. Select a mail merge template and review all of the email settings. In this case, we won't select the follow-up, but you may want to select the option to set a proposal follow-up. Use the green checkmark to send the message immediately. The proposal will be saved and the communication will be logged in the contact profile, returning you back to the proposal edit screen, where we will use the green checkmark at the top right to save and exit the proposal. Now we'll return to our dashboard and add a workspace. Use the plus symbol to add a new workspace. We'll use the number 6 indicating it will be the 6th tab from the left, and we'll call it Pipelines and Quotes, breaking into the 2-panel layout we've used often. For the top panel, we'll configure it using the My Items category that we also have used often in this tutorial. Now we'll look for the option at the bottom labeled My Quotations and Sales Order and select it to add it to the Workspace panel at the top. For the bottom panel, we'll repeat this process, once again selecting the My Items category, and at the bottom we'll look for the option titled My Sales Pipeline and select it, adding it to the bottom panel of our workspace. We now have a dashboard tab that shows us our active proposals, our sales orders that are processing, and at the bottom we can see our current sales pipeline. Let's talk more about the sales pipeline feature of the CRM. Select any of the sales pipeline entries from the dashboard to access the pipeline edit screen. You might be asking what actually is a sales pipeline entry? The sales pipeline is your way of tracking details about a specific opportunity related to a CRM contact. The pipeline has settings related to the stage of the opportunity or how close to closing the opportunity you are. It's important to note that pipeline entries are completely separate from proposals, but they are usually linked together. For example, you can have a proposal without a pipeline, or even a pipeline without a proposal. Or in this case, we have generated a proposal and have linked it to this specific pipeline for tracking. You can generate additional proposals related to this pipeline and track them together from here. From a salesperson perspective, the pipeline screen is where you keep your internal notes related to how you are working the deal. Explain what are your next steps. What are the challenges you are facing? As you continually update the pipeline entry, it will automatically trend up or down based on this activity. You can see and use the trending in your dashboard and reports. From the top left hamburger menu, the CRM offers convenient tools for you to work the pipeline from directly within the entry itself. Under the Action menu, you'll find helpful options to log a phone call, send an email, set more follow-ups, and all of the previous CRM activities we discussed earlier, all from directly within the pipeline entry. Be sure to customize your dashboard with the information in a way that is best for how you work. This completes our tutorial for how sales professionals can get the most out of DrivenCRM. Happy selling, and thank you for watching.
For more helpful videos, visit our website at www.notia.com.